Let's go Dolphins! What if I told you that the Dolphins' future could be compromised or reborn by the decisions that will be made this week? What if I told you that not just one, but two changes that could alter the franchise's course are about to happen? We're talking head coach. We're talking quarterback. We're talking the hiring of a general manager who could completely change the plans for the next 10 years. And believe me, what I've discovered will make you question everything. You won't want to miss this. But before we begin, don't forget to like this if you're a die-hard Dolphins fan. And if you followed the Dolphins through moments of disappointment and glory, comment below, "Go Dolphins! We deserve a Super Bowl." Alright, now let's reveal everything. Mike McDaniel's future with the team appears to be hanging in the balance. While he said during his end-of-season press conference that he's the Dolphins head coach until told otherwise, there was no solid confirmation about his return. But here's the eyebrow-raising part. He also confirmed he will be involved in the general manager interview process. That might sound like a vote of confidence, but it's also sending mixed signals. Why involve him in shaping the future if his own status isn't locked down? NFL insider Ian Rappaport said on NFL Network that McDaniel is expected to return, but again, nothing is finalized. As strange as it sounds, all signs point to him staying for the 2026 season, and many fans think that's a huge mistake. There's a growing chorus calling for change, and I mean growing fast. Let's be real here, McDaniel's performance this past season was a disaster in critical areas. The Dolphins were among the worst second-half teams in the league. They got outscored 21-0 in the second half multiple times, and the third quarter? Forget it. They were outscored 14-0 in the third quarter alone on 3 separate occasions this year. The procedural issues, the sloppy game management, the failure to adjust, all of it piles up. He went 4-1 with a quarterback not named Tua, yet somehow fans still say he just needs a better QB. But here's the truth, even with someone else under center, the flaws were still obvious. And then there's Tua Tagovailoa. Let's not sugarcoat this, the situation with Tua might be completely unsalvageable. When asked by reporters if a fresh start on another team would be good for him, Tua said, "That would be dope. I would be good with it." He confirmed that yes, he meant a different team, not the Dolphins. Let that sink in for a second. Your starting quarterback, your franchise guy, just openly told the media he's ready to move on. This isn't just a slight slip-up in the heat of the moment. This speaks volumes about the fractured relationship between Tua and the organization. Ever since his contract extension before the 2024 season, there's been a noticeable shift in his public demeanor. His comments have become more careless, and his play has declined. He doesn't look like the leader of a Super Bowl caliber team, and honestly, fans are over it. Now the Dolphins face a financial and strategic dilemma. Cutting Tua comes with a massive price tag. If they release him before June 1st, they'll incur a record-setting $99 million dead cap hit in 2026, increasing their cap by $42.8 million that year. That's brutal. But doing so clears the books for 2027 and gives the team maximum flexibility to rebuild. Cutting him after June 1st spreads the damage, but it clogs up both 2026 and 2027. It's a lose-lose scenario, but one way or another, he's gone. That much is clear. The Dolphins are done with Tua. It's just a matter of how they handle the financial fallout. So if McDaniel sticks around, and Tua is definitely out, the team's direction hinges on who they bring in as general manager. That search is already underway, and it's moving fast. 6 names have surfaced so far: Josh Williams, 49ers, Alec Halaby, Eagles, John McKay, Rams, John Eric Sullivan, Packers, Tariq Mahdud, 49ers, and R.J. Gillen, 49ers. That's 3 candidates from San Francisco alone, which isn't surprising given the front office ties and philosophy crossover with McDaniel. Among those, one name stands out: John Eric Sullivan from Green Bay. He's my personal top pick for the job, and I'm not alone. This guy has 20-plus years in the Packers front office and embodies everything Miami is supposedly looking for: a strong scouting background and a draft-first approach. He's not the kind of GM who tries to buy his way to a championship with flashy trades or bloated free agent signings. He builds from within. He develops talent. He believes the draft is the lifeblood of a winning organization. In short, he's the anti-Chris Greer, and that might be exactly what Miami needs. The Dolphins have already begun the interview process and plan to move quickly. Zoom interviews on Monday and Tuesday, in-person sessions on Wednesday and Thursday, and possibly a hire by this Friday. They want to be impressed. They want to be blown away, and they want to make a decision fast. This week could be the turning point of the entire franchise. New GM, possibly a new quarterback, and a head coach who's still in place despite a collapse that left fans furious. Alright, let's keep it rolling. So now that we've unpacked the chaos surrounding Mike McDaniel and the impending exit of Tua Tagovailoa, it's time to dig deeper into what really matters next: the general manager hire. Because if there's one decision that will shape the next decade of Dolphins football, this is it. Let's start with the guy at the top of the list, John Eric Sullivan. This isn't just some random front office name pulled out of a hat. This is a 20-year veteran of the Green Bay Packers system, a franchise known for consistency, intelligent drafting, and a long-term vision. Sullivan's resume is rock solid. He's worked his way up from being a regional scout to currently holding the title of Vice President of Player Personnel. That means he's been deep in the trenches, identifying talent, building draft boards, and shaping rosters without needing to make splashy moves in free agency. This is a guy who believes in structure, in player development, and in building something sustainable. He's the complete opposite of what Miami just had in Chris Grier. Remember Grier's biggest moves? Trading for Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, and Bradley Chubb. Sure, those players are stars, but none of those trades resulted in playoff wins. None of them changed the culture, and none of them solved the team's core problem, winning when it matters. Sullivan said it best himself in a quote that should be burned into the walls of the Dolphins front office. Asterisk, I've always been taught the draft is your lifeblood. You build through the draft. It's a young man's game. Asterisk, that's the kind of philosophy this franchise desperately needs right now. Especially with the Tua situation about to blow up the salary cap, Miami can't afford to rely on overpriced veterans. They need to hit on picks. They need to find core players who fit the culture and stick around. And let's not overlook this, Sullivan interviewed for all 4 GM vacancies last offseason. The Titans, Jets, Raiders, and Jaguars all brought him in. He didn't land any of those jobs, sure, but maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Maybe Miami is the perfect match, because right now, they're in desperate need of a fresh direction, a new philosophy, and someone who can build from the ground up. But he's not the only strong candidate. John McKay, the assistant GM of the Rams, is another serious contender. Coming from a franchise that's managed to stay relevant with aggressive team building and sharp coaching hires, McKay brings a more balanced approach, someone who understands risk but also knows when to double down on talent. And then there's Josh Williams from the 49ers, a scouting-first executive with ties to McDaniel's roots. He's known for identifying under-the-radar talent and helping maintain San Francisco's deep and well-rounded roster. That said, the 49ers candidates raise a big question. Is Miami trying to double down on the McDaniel way? Because if McDaniel's vision is flawed, and we've seen evidence of that, then stacking more San Francisco DNA in the front office could backfire. It's a high-stakes gamble. Now, here's something else fans need to consider. Timing. This GM hire isn't going to drag on for weeks. According to sources close to the situation, the Dolphins want this done fast. Zoom interviews are already underway, in-person meetings are scheduled, and a hire could be made as soon as Friday. That's right, within 72 hours, the Miami Dolphins could have a new general manager. That tells us 2 things. 1, they've had their shortlist ready since they fired Chris Grier in October. And 2, they don't want to waste time with a drawn-out process while the rest of the league starts scooping up candidates and planning free agency. So let's piece it all together. Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat, whether the franchise admits it or not. Tua is as good as gone, and the GM hire is the most important decision the organization will make this offseason. Whoever takes the job is walking into a roster full of talent, but also full of pressure, cap challenges, and an unstable QB situation. It's a double-edged sword, but it's also an opportunity to redefine what Dolphins football is supposed to be. Are we going to be the flashy team with big names but no postseason grit? Or are we going to be the franchise that finally builds something real, something that lasts? If John Eric Sullivan gets the nod, fans should be optimistic. His approach is disciplined, thoughtful, and rooted in winning culture. But if they go another route, it has to be for the right reasons, because this can't be another flashy PR hire. It has to be about football. It has to be about vision. And the truth is, time's running out. Cap decisions are looming. The draft is around the corner. Coaching staff changes could be on the way depending on how this GM hire shakes out. And the locker room? It's fragile. One wrong move could fracture everything. One right move could finally push this team to the next level. So here's my question to you, Dolphins Nation. Who do you want as the next GM? Are you all in on Sullivan's scouting heavy, draft first approach? Or would you rather see someone from McDaniel's San Francisco tree take the reins and double down on the current offensive vision? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get that conversation going. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next video on screen for everything you need to know about the top GM candidates. Go Dolphins!